Ready?
Oh my god, so much to clean now! We have some exciting news to share. We finally got our residency cards. Technically we got them a month ago, but with all the flood situation and figuring out autonomous registration and taxes, we got carried away.
So we want to share with you our journey of getting residency in Spain, which we got in less than 4 months after we moved here.
So let's go! So just a bit of backstory, we met in Poland during the pandemic. We lived there for 3 years, but because my husband could not stay there longer because of visa situation, we decided to move to the US. But there was one big problem. We actually didn't enjoy the American lifestyle.
Yeah, we really missed the European lifestyle, just the culture, the architecture, the beautiful, safe and walkable cities. The food, we just really missed it. And so we started looking for options for how we could get back to Europe and stay there long term. In the beginning, we were considering moving to Portugal because they have their own digital nomad visa and it's a very common destination for digital nomads. But then we discovered that Spain recently opened up their digital nomad visa. And as soon as we found that out, we were amazed because Spain was always a dream of ours. We had both been there and we love this country. And so we didn't think twice.
Yeah, by the way, let me know in the comments, why do you want to move to Spain? I would really love to hear your story. And living in Spain was always my dream, as you mentioned. It was funny because first time I went to Spain as an exchange student, that was in 2017. And then I came again in 2019, but for an internship. And here is a funny story because I was trying to find ways how to legally remain living in Spain, and it was just so hard to find anything. Eventually I got an offer from my manager. He would pay me 500 euros for a full-time job, and he would help me with visa so that I could remain in Spain. And to make a deal sweeter, he would also pay for the room so that I wouldn't have to pay for the rent. But still, 500 euros for a full-time job just to stay in Spain, I was like, what? No, I could not accept it. So it was tough, but I had to go back to Poland.
I had also stayed in Valencia for 2 months back in 2019 when I was traveling around Spain, and I really loved the city, I loved the country, and I always wanted to come back.
So in the beginning, when we started to research about digital nomad visa, it was very confusing because there wasn't enough information online. After countless research on different forums, reading different articles and talking to multiple lawyers, it started to clear up for us, because in the beginning I really wasn't sure we could even qualify for it. By the way, I made a video about everything you should know before applying for digital nomad visa. I will leave a link in the description below this video for you to check it out if it's something that you are also trying to apply for. But we won't be getting into details of this visa in this video. We will actually be talking about what steps we took after we got approved with visa.
Let's be honest, you've been dreaming of living in Spain already for how long? And how long will you be postponing this? Watching other people eat churros. I understand it's a big decision for you and your family, but it's so worth it. Now I eat churros every day. But seriously, you should give it a try. And moving doesn't have to be expensive or stressful. The Moving to Spain agency offers tailored planning packages with reasonable prices to support each step of your move, from visa applications to explaining taxes and finding a right healthcare plan. So what excuse do you have now for not moving to Spain? And to make it even sweeter, you can get a 10% discount on their services by using my affiliate link below, and you will also be supporting my channel. Okay, now that the commercial break is over, it's time for my churros.
So if you want to stay longer in Spain, you'll need to apply for a TIA card, which is a temporary residence permit.
So applying for TIA is actually very important if you're planning on staying in Spain more than 6 months. And NIA number is basically your personal number, which you will be using for all the things like banking, renting, healthcare, to have some utilities, contracts with utilities providers. Since I'm a spouse of the main applicant of digital nomad visa, on my TIA card I have a permission to legally work in Spain. It also simplifies traveling around Schengen zone, and if it's something you want to pursue, like Spanish residency or citizenship, it will actually grant you path to easily obtaining it. We got our NIA with our visa approval. It works the same if you were coming to Spain on non-lucrative visa, you'll get it within your visa resolution. But if you are coming here to work, to study, to purchase a property, or you are an EU citizen, then you need to apply for NIA number separately in the police station.
So once we got our NIA number, we basically had to apply for empadronamiento, which is basically registering with a local town hall to show where you live. Now the problem with that is that you might encounter a little catch-22 there, where in order to apply, you need to show that you have a rental agreement with landlords. But in order to get a rental agreement, you need to actually have a bank account, a local Spanish bank account that most landlords will require. And to do that, you need to show that you have a rental agreement. And so it's kind of a bit of a catch-22. And so what did we do?
So yeah, I mean, in this situation, we just opened a bank account at N26 Bank, which works perfectly for expats. They do not ask you for a bunch of documents, and they provide you with a Spanish IBAN. It worked for our landlord, and we got our rental agreement for more than 6 months, and we were able to apply for this empadronamiento. So just a quick tip for empadronamiento: you'll need to show your passport, your NIA number, rental contract or a utility bill, and to fill out the form that you can also fill out at their office. We didn't have cita, which means appointment in Spanish. So we just arrived there, and the lady gave us a paper with an exact hour when to come back. It was within the next 2 hours, so we just decided to have breakfast and stay in the city center. But you can always make an appointment online on their website and be more efficient than we were.
So to get this document, it's free of charge. You just show up the same day and they give it to you really quickly, but you either need to speak Spanish or bring someone who speaks Spanish with you just to be able to understand everything. We saw people that were trying to speak in English to the employees there, and it didn't work very well. So
yeah, they just don't speak English.
Yeah.
They're like, no, no entiendo. So to apply for TIA, you need to grab cita again, this appointment, online, and here be patient, because it's not that easy to find the free time slot, and our lawyers actually helped us figuring this out, but sometimes you'll need to go to smaller cities in order to get that appointment. So we waited for a few weeks for this cita, and then we just arrived at the right time to the given location, and we just showed the passport, tasas, which means like fees that we paid for application. It's around, I think, 16 euros, and I provided just one photo. However, they say that you need to have 2 photos. But just in case, grab all the documents you have, and it's better always to be over-prepared than to forget something and just run back home, or like grab a taxi back to take some papers that you forgot, and make sure that you also have copies of everything. So my TIE application went super smooth. I was very pumped. I even recorded a video of my emotions after applying for the temporary residency.
So I just applied for TIA card, and this is a message for those who think that bureaucracy in Spain is horrible. I mean, yes, some moments are terrible, they can be improved, but guys, I am the third time immigrant, and I've never passed through an application so fast, like never. It wasn't like this in Poland. In Poland, it was just a nightmare. I had to get up like at 4 a.m., go, stay in the line. It wasn't organized at all. One time I waited 6 hours in the governmental institution, and you could not go anywhere to drink or to eat. It was horrible. It's like a torture. But here, I spent there 15 minutes showing my passport and just the document that I paid the tasas, the fees, and 15 minutes in the line before they called me for my appointment. So 30 minutes in total. This is like nothing. It's so well organized, and they do not ask you a bunch of papers. I had a folder of papers from our lawyers, and we were over-prepared. We were super prepared, and I mean, it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. But he just asked for my passport, for one photo, and for the fees that have been paid for the TIA card, and that's it.
And how about your experience?
I mean, I was very impressed by the lack of bureaucracy, actually, because it's quite
in this exact
in
process,
this particular
yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think European countries in general aren't known for their lack of bureaucracy when you're dealing with paperwork and government stuff, but in our case, it was actually quite smooth, and luckily we had lawyers to help us with the process, and so that I definitely recommend that. But overall, I'm quite impressed by how efficient they were with everything.
Comparing to Poland, I had to go through 7 circles of hell, and that was very stressful, and even in America as well.
In America as well, it was actually much more complicated and a lot more bureaucracy in the United States than it is here. So yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So they told us to wait for 40 calendar days and then to go to another location to pick up this TIA card without any appointment. We actually got notified from our lawyers by email after 35 days, and we just went there without any CETA and just grabbed the card. Everybody was very friendly. You have to imagine it's like a police station, so there are policemen working there, but they're still super chill and kind to you. I was worried about giving my fingerprints because I forgot that when you receive a card, you also need to confirm your identity by giving your fingerprints again. And I actually cut my finger a day before, or maybe 2 days before, but I still had a scar. And this machine could not accept my fingerprint, and I was nervous. I was like, please give me my card, I really want it. But the policeman was super cool. He was like, so what's the problem? I was like, I'm so sorry, in my Spanish, and I tried to remember the words I wanted to describe the problem. I was like, cuchillo, like I cut with my knife, with a knife in the kitchen when I was cooking. I cut myself, I cut my finger, and I have a scar. That's why the machine is not accepting the fingerprint. And he was completely chill. He said, so don't cook. Why are you cooking? Let your husband cook. And he was like pointing at my husband's like, let him cook. But he was super chill, and he still accepted my identity without me providing that fingerprint. So don't stress out, don't worry about that. So we really didn't face any big challenges. Our journey was smooth of getting a TIA card, and that's thanks to the lawyers. I believe it's important to have that professional support on your journey of getting a residency and or applying for visa. So the process was fast for us, and it was around 100 euros, I think, to apply for visa and then to apply for a residency card. But here the cost of lawyers and translation from English to Spanish wasn't included.
Now we're getting acquainted with taxes in Spain. That's kind of what we got to deal with next. And so that's our next challenge.
And probably I will make a video about that as well next year, as we will be getting acquainted with that topic more and more and figuring the stuff out. We hope this video was valuable for you. If you have any questions about residency process or applying for visa, just drop a comment below this video. And as always, I see you next week. Hasta pronto!